Hi everybody, me and Wilbur here. Hope that everybody is having a great weekend. Don't we, Wilbur? You're such a good boy. Okay, today is questions and answers for JWs with Red and Wilbur. And today we are going to answer the question, or we're going to address it, and hope that you ponder it in your heart. We're going to ask the question, who are we going to believe? The Watchtower Society or supposed apostates? Okay, first of all, I want to stress that I was never a witness. Okay, I have, a lot of relatives, aunts and cousins, and my brother is a witness. He's a ministerial servant. And it really, really hurts my heart very much that he will not, especially me, he will not talk to us because we are not witnesses. And me, he's even worse with me because I know the truth but refuse to submit to theocratic arrangement. So, it's very heartbreaking. I've heard a lot of JWs will say, well, apostates were just disfellowshipped and they have an axe to grind. That's all it is. They just want to make trouble because they have an axe to grind. Okay. Again, I was never a witness. I'm not doing this because my brother won't talk to me. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do. When I found out about the child abuse and the Watchtower's membership with the United Nations, I got really, really angry. And I saw in a movie, it was a Tom Selleck movie, An Innocent Man. And Dennis Berkeley played a convict in this movie, and he said something that I have held to for over 20 years now. It was so true. You don't have to stand tall, but sometimes you gotta stand up. And I think that that's why a lot of these, I don't like using the term apostate, but a lot of these former Jehovah's Witnesses, I think that's what they're doing on these YouTube sites and stuff. It's like Mike and Kim and Derek O'Hare. God bless these guys. Derek O'Hare is the biggest champion for children within the Watchtower organization. He really is. And I don't know what Derek O'Hare's deal is, if they were, him and Mike and Kim were disfellowshipped, or if they just came to see the lies going on in the organization. I don't know, but you have to stop and ask yourself, here's a question to really ponder. What would it serve for them dedicating so much time to making these videos and trying to educate the public and try to help people? Wouldn't they, if they were disfellowshipped or something and just had an axe to grind, wouldn't Mike just go to the nearest Kingdom Hall down the road from his house and find the car of an elder and pour sugar in the gas tank? I mean, wouldn't that be enough? Derek O'Hare, he puts himself in peril. The man gets the snot beat out of him, protesting and going out with his megaphone and really being confrontational with, spreading the word about the child abuse and the two-witness rule. Why would somebody do that if they just had an axe to grind? Why wouldn't he just go to the Kingdom Hall and find the first elder and punch him in the mouth? I mean, nobody would put themselves in so much danger and dedicate so much of their time and their life to this if all they had was an axe to grind. So it doesn't make sense. But we're going to cover some of these lies, and you can ask yourself, who are we going to believe? I got Mike and Kim's permission. I'm going to quote them on a couple of things because they really, really made some good points. Like Kim said, that apostates can't forge legal documents. And, these newspapers and the news stations, all these major network affiliates in the world, what are they doing? Do you really honestly think that they're sitting at a round table in the offices of these, major news stations and these newspapers? Do you really think they're sitting at a round table and they're saying, let's see if we can dredge up some dirt and make these witnesses look bad? They couldn't do that. If it's on the news and, it's not been checked out, these news reporters, they could lose their job and never work again for any news affiliate in the world. They could be sued. The news companies could be sued. The editors of newspapers. They're not going to just sit around and make up this stuff to pick on the poor Watchtower Society. Take that into consideration. Like Jeffrey Jackson, he lied on the stand at the Royal Commission and said that nobody, what was the quote from Kim? He had no knowledge of anyone ever being disfellowshipped for celebrating Christmas. And he also said that he wasn't a leader in the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society. Those are two bold-faced lies. Everybody knows he's a member of the governing body. That's a lie. So, are you going to believe somebody that is just one lie on top of the other, where if their lips are moving, they're lying? Or are you going to believe somebody who, even though they're an evil apostate, has documented proof right in front of you? Who are you going to believe? Another thing, like the UN involvement here. Are the witnesses truly neutral in the affairs of the world if they're members of the UN? Now, the Guardian newspaper blew their cover and exposed their membership with the UN, and they promptly, quietly, I think it was the next day, withdrew their membership of the United Nations in the United States, but not in Europe. They're still members of the United Nations in Europe. And why would the United Nations clarified it? Why would they lie? Why would the Guardian newspaper lie? But you cannot be a part of the YMCA. You cannot even swim in their swimming pool because it's Young Men's Christian Association is the title. Now I tutor, little first graders, 6-7-year-old children. I tutor them. I am actually not an employee of the school. I work for the YMCA. I tutor these children in my spare time. Stop and ask yourself, what in the world would God see wrong in that? With loving a little child, with giving a little child a better start in life by helping them with their reading and writing skills. What in the world would God possibly see wrong in that? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm proud of what I do. And I will, as long as I'm physically able, I will continue to do that because I believe it's the right thing to do. We're also going to touch on you cannot be baptized if you smoke. But the Watchtower and Bible Tract Society has shares in H.M. Riley and Philip Morris. Everybody knows, especially Philip Morris, those are big, huge cigarette companies. Now, where is the hypocrisy in that? Are you really going to entrust these liars and hypocrites, and that's all they are you going to trust them with your spiritual salvation? That is very reckless, and I wouldn't trust somebody who lied to me at every turn. I wouldn't trust them to teach me the Word of God. I surely would not. And another thing I want to bring up, the Watchtower Society goes on and on about, the churches in Christendom. They're in it for the money. They, the Catholic Church does have mega millions of dollars. But you know what? I don't know of any religious denomination that does more. I'm not the biggest fan of the Catholic Church either, but they do help so many people. They have more food pantries. They have St. Vincent de Paul. It's a clothing shop where they sell, at a fair, reasonable price. They sell used clothing to help the community. Even Ted Bundy was born in the Elizabeth Lund Home for Unwed Mothers in Connecticut. That is a Catholic home for unwed mothers. And my pastor, him and his wife, he's retired now. He has a lot of health issues, and his wife's a nurse. We only have, counting children, 30 members in our church. That's not enough for a preacher to be living off the church and just having a money-making racket going on. Him and his wife, they sold their house in an affluent community and bought the house next to the church because the pastor wanted to be, as witnesses would say, where the need is great. They took the proceeds of their house that they sold, and they bought this rundown. It was really run down because I was there when they were fixing it up. And they totally renovated it. It's a beautiful little place. But, people were knocking on their doors all the time, wanting to, ask for prayer, wanting to talk to the pastor. And, that's a good thing. He wanted to be, the neighborhood they moved into is very, a lot of drugs in the community. And he's opened up a food pantry called Heaven's Cupboard, and we help probably 26 families a week with food and used clothing, and a lot of drug users, people that have had drug problems and alcohol problems, are coming into our church and have now become members. And one guy's even bringing in some of the biggest drug dealers in the town. And it's just so great because we're really, really helping the community with this food pantry and with the pastor being right there on call all the time, and he's not making any money from the church, because it just with 30, 35 members counting children, that's just barely enough to pay the Duke Energy to keep the lights on. But we're helping a lot of people, and the pastor has never told anybody, hey, you cannot become a member of this church till you quit smoking, until you get off drugs completely. He prays with them and helps them, and we all encourage them and love them through their addiction, and we're seeing differences. But I'm running out of time, but I will do part 2 of this tomorrow. Just think about what I said, pray about it, and really search your heart. And, we'll cover the rest of this tomorrow. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and tune in tomorrow of part 2. Who are we going to believe? God bless y'all. Love ya. Bye.